Welcome to Coralthea, a world brimming with adventure and intrigue, in the year now known as 0IA, or Zero Equa Edo, from the Elvish phrase for the beginning of time. The elf mage Yorl discovered the ruins of an ancient civilization long extinct. A careful investigation of the area revealed evidence in the form of a singular stone tablet that the Coraltheans were not the original inhabitants of the land they called home. There is little known about Yorl themselves, but they are assumed to have been an exceptionally astute and powerful mage. The eventual deciphering of the stone would have been impossible without Yorl's analysis of the hybrid language and runic magic inscribed on the tablet. Naturally, the discovery of a civilization predating Coralthea shook people to their core and drove them to obsessively search out more relics from this lost society and to preserve their own history in increasingly permanent ways. The era that followed became known as the Unearthing, and for 5 centuries faction after faction devoted their energy to uncovering every last shred of their lost predecessors. The Unearthing led to the retrieval of dozens of priceless Equa Edo artifacts, including the Crown of Elendor. Passed down through generations of elves, the possessors of the crown declared themselves as sovereigns and thus birthed the Runesbach Empire. The era of conquest had begun. They campaigned across Coralthea in pursuit of territory and power and asserted their divine right to all artifacts from the Equa Edo several centuries past. And although Runesbach conquered nearly 2/3 of all Coralthea, it is still unclear how successful they were in reuniting the Equa Edo artifacts. The era of conquest was brought to an abrupt end when the Runesbach Empire was pushed back by the renowned tactician Kjoran Jarnstad and his small army. The Runesbach Empire retreated to the western coast of Coralthea. Having demonstrated his might, Kjoran Jarnstad became the first leader of the Jarnstad Empire. Thus began the Epic of Legends. For 400 years, the two countries poured their resources into showcasing their strengths in lieu of all-out war. Their governments funneled money and resources into adventurers' guilds. Heroes, legendary creatures, and villains were born. Renown and treasure were plentiful. Crown-subsidized dragon hunts led to a dramatic decline in the dragon population as they were harvested for parts. Bards have woven tales and songs aplenty about this golden period in Coralthean history. In 1467, the tensions between Jarnstad and Runesbach came to a head, and the Noseg War began. The Siege of Unsung Heroes witnessed the formation of the now well-known area of Lintumia in the Bontum Empire. Jarnstad and Runesbach both laid waste to the villages and towns of this region. Rather than ally themselves with one side or another, the people of this no-man's land united and asserted their sovereignty. For almost 300 years, the three empires coexisted in performative peace and diplomacy. Territorial expansion stabilized, and the rulers directed their focus, for the most part, to their own affairs. In 1776, the Bontum Empire lost their king, leaving behind his young son to take the throne. The boy was barely 16 years of age, and the Runesbach saw an opportunity to reclaim the land that they'd lost. Erexidor Sativa, Lord of Windbach, and one of the great generals of the Runesbach Empire, curated a royal dinner at the Keep of Dasan. Many royal family members from Jarnstad and Bontum's courts attended, all partaking in this overt expression of peace. Their merrymaking was short-lived as slaughter took its place. General Sativa and his troops ruthlessly murdered the unsuspecting guests. The massacre is now known as the Dasan Treachery, and it can be cited as the catalyst for the Pardis War. News of Dasan came to Bontoom's child king Durarad from the lips of a Yarnstadian messenger, accompanied by an offer of alliance. The Yarnstad Empire of Roram supported young King Durarad as he stood against the Runesbach Empire. The war lasted 2 years, and the Bontoom Empire emerged victorious. The people of both Lintumia and Roram revered King Durarad and decided that they would no longer stand divided, but they would unite under one law, one authority, the Bontoom Empire and their formidable king. Peace did not stay. Only a few short years passed before Coralthea was threatened once again. The organization of vampires known as the Shadowed Hand did everything in their power to uproot Durarad's power and destroy the unity the people of Coralthea had found. Though their leader, the Lich Queen, was defeated by the champions of Coralthea, the unity of the empires had been lost. King Durarad, sensing the winds of change were blowing once again, gave way to fate and divided the original 3 empires into the 9 regions of Coralthea. Though they were soundly defeated, the Shadowed Hand had done untold damage to the land and its people. The land was unhealthy. Citizens from all empires suffered greatly, particularly the elven people of Sorvere, who were unable to distinguish themselves from the great cruelty that had emanated from their empire. Coralthea deteriorated, and it seemed that it was doomed to fall and be forgotten, just as the ancient civilizations had before them. Salvation came in the form of the Restoration. The gods combined their divine power to cleanse the land of Coralthea. Every plague, hex, and blight was eliminated. However, following this monumental intervention, the gods disappeared, and over time, even their names were forgotten. The godless people of Coralthea carried on, their existence the only remaining evidence of the divine act. Time has trudged on, as is the natural state of things. Now, in the year 1814, technology and scientific discovery are on the rise. Powerful minerals and ingenuity have led to a steam-powered industrial revolution. Fantastical journeys await. In even so pragmatic a time as this, you only have to embark on the first step of discovery. Welcome to Coralthea.